Hey, I want to welcome you to this video. I want to tell you that I'm also so glad to see you. My name is Chris. I'm the creator of the Pigeon Insider, if you don't know me already. But I've been getting a lot of emails about people who have been struggling in this sport, and maybe some, a few newbies and new flyers. And I wanted to shoot a video and show actually my history of how the Pigeon Insider was created and why it was created, and also a little history about how I got involved in the pigeon racing sport, and even my success in the sport. Because when I first started, I actually was terrible. I was just spending a ton of money, wasting a lot of money, and I wasn't doing anything in the sport. I mean, it was crazy. So I put together this video because I wanted to show you that you're not alone and that you can change things, because I have changed things. So again, I put together this PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to be reading a little bit because I wanted to jot down all my thoughts and show you how I went from starting the Pigeon Insider to where it is now, and also my success. And at the end of the video, I got there's a nice surprise for you as well. So watch this video in its entirety. So like I said, I know some fanciers are struggling, so I put together this special video to help you out and hopefully give you some guidance on how to be successful in this sport. And I want to show you how we went from never even winning a single race when we started to literally dominating both our club and combine we fly with, all in 1 year's time. And by we, I'm talking about my uncle and myself. You'll learn where my uncle came in later on in this video. But we even beat out experienced flyers who have been in the sport forever. And now the reason for this video is because I want to help you do that as well, because the main reason for the Pigeon Insider is because we want people to see success so they stay in the sport longer. So if you ever wanted to win a pigeon racing, breed champion birds, and finally stop wasting all of your time and money, then you need to watch this entire video now. The truth is, for most fanciers, being successful in this sport is extremely difficult, and I know firsthand that that is true. And this is especially true for new flyers. The same fanciers keep winning over and over again, while the rest of us continue to find it difficult to see any success. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about and have seen it firsthand in your own club, because I did. In my club, there was only a handful. Not even. It was like two guys who just kept winning every single time, and the rest of us just fell behind them. And I assure you, it's not just by luck. These winning fanciers are consistently winning all the time for a reason, and the reason is they have a winning system, plain and simple. And basically, the system consists of 4 main elements. Step 1. They breed and start with good birds. So I suggest that you do that as well. You either breed your own good stock and start with at least decent birds. Step 2, they properly train their birds to be good racers. So once you have a good bird, you train that bird to be a good racer. And now you make sure your bird. Step 3, make sure your birds are in perfect health, especially on race day. And step 4, you incorporate a winning racing strategy that ensures you win. And now this is pretty much the 4-step winning pigeon racing system that most successful flyers follow these days. And now I know you're saying, come on, there's more to winning than that. And you're absolutely right. Truth is, there's actually a lot more details to becoming a champion fancier than just the 4 steps. And it took those champion fanciers years and years of trial and error and experience, as well as lots of time, money, and frustration to figure it all out. Along the way. And it seems that the only people who keep winning are the ones with massive experience and have been in the pigeon racing game forever. And I'm sure, again, you agree with that. They're the ones with years of experience with pigeons, racing in hundreds or even thousands of races. And they all seem to have one thing in common. They guard those secrets like crazy. I could understand this, and I'm sure you can as well. Chances are that when they started out in pigeon racing, they weren't given any special tips or techniques to ensure they were good racers either. They pretty much they had to try something to see if it would work, and if it didn't, they'd have to start again from scratch. So I personally could see why they wouldn't want to share nothing, because they kind of had to go through the school of hard knocks as well. Now I know this firsthand because when I started, I actually tried to ask a few of the more experienced fanciers, and they were helpful, but they didn't tell me everything that I needed to know. So I know you know personally just how difficult it is to actually win in the sport or have any kind of success at all. From breeding to training, pigeon racing is a time and money intensive process which doesn't always pay off. And you'll see I got in this video my experience with this. It can be a very frustrating process to say the least, especially if you don't have anyone to help you see the errors. It's all guess and check and trial and error. And I know you feel exactly the same way and know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Now, think about it for a moment. I want you to think about this for a moment. How much time do you waste every day, week, and year in your loft and with your birds? Now, think about all the effort you put into it daily and into the daily and weekly tasks like cleaning your loft every week, transporting and training your birds, and feeding and daily maintenance. And over that time, think about how much money you have spent and wasted on gas, building a loft, buying birds and supplies, buying feed and medication, and paying club and race entry fees. Now, how has all that time, money, and effort paid off for you so far? Are you consistently winning races? This is my big question. Are you enjoying yourself? Because that's what this sport is supposed to be all about. Are you enjoying yourself? For me, in the beginning, I wasn't, and you'll see in a bit why that was. Now, I'm really not asking these questions to discourage you. I'm asking because I know exactly how you feel, because I myself felt that way about 3 years ago. As you know already, my name is Chris. That's a picture of me. I'm the founder of the Pigeon Insider Internet Mag. And currently, we help over 14,000 fanciers worldwide, and it's growing every day, and it's great. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about the comments we're getting. Now, I started the Pigeon Insider because, just like you, I couldn't figure out what the winners were doing in my club to win nearly every single race. Honestly, like I said, there were really only two guys who continually had the top spots almost always, and when I asked them to help me out, they wouldn't. I was spending all my time and money on a sport and hobby that was supposed to be bringing me pleasure and relaxation. And I was completely frustrated, angry, and defeated, and ready to quit the pigeon racing sport and hobby altogether. And now, like I said, here's my story, and it could be almost similar to yours. But about 3 years ago, I didn't even know pigeon racing existed. I was introduced to the world of pigeon racing by my Uncle Dom. You can see him there. He actually used to keep flight pigeons. I don't know if you probably know what they are, but he used to keep flights as a kid in Brooklyn, New York, and he got interested in racing pigeons when he moved upstate. And it was here that I was first exposed to the world of pigeon racing. And to be honest with you, at first I said, pigeon racing, what the heck is pigeon racing? Because, followed by, are you serious? People actually race pigeons? Because I could not believe that this was even out there. I couldn't believe that people raced pigeons and that pigeons even raced. It was crazy to me. And just like I'm sure you know, if you ever told anybody what you do, they probably have the same reaction. So my uncle explained the sport to me a bit, and I to be honest, I got intrigued about it. However, I wasn't yet hooked. It wasn't until my uncle purchased a champion bird from Oklahoma. Now, we live in New York, and he purchased this bird from Oklahoma. And this changed everything. You'll see. Now, this is a map of just how far Oklahoma is from New York. And he purchased, now New York is over here by the A, and Oklahoma is by the B. My uncle actually purchased this bird from Oklahoma, and as you can see, the distance that the bird was sent to my uncle from Oklahoma to New York. And the funny thing is, he actually went in. He got the bird. He put it in his loft, and he went in to go feed it one day. And when he opened the door, the bird actually flew out. The brand new bird that he bought from Oklahoma flew out the door and took off. Now, about 2 weeks later, he got a call back from the guy, the breeder he bought the bird from. It told him that the bird was actually back at his loft. So the pigeon actually flew all the way from New York all the way back to Oklahoma. Now, I don't know if you know how amazing that is, but that's over 1,100 miles that bird flew back. And I was completely blown away by this. From that moment on, my passion for and love for pigeons was born, because I couldn't believe, and I was so amazed about what these birds could do. Unfortunately, my love didn't last for long. It's because I got so interested in pigeon racings that I wanted to get involved. And I literally spent over $2,000 building the loft of my dreams, and there it is. I also spent over $2,500 on champion birds to fill that loft with. I bought a pair of champion breeders for $1,000. They were $500 each, and I bought a young bird kit for $1,500. Not to mention the feed, meds, race entry and perch fees, club fees, and all the supplies, and literally came out to $1,000+ a year. This was all in my first year. Now, in the time, I spent about 2 to 3 hours per day cleaning the loft, spending time at the club, and training and tossing my birds. And I spent well over $5,000 and numerous hours of my life my very first year in the sport. And what do you think happened? Nothing. I didn't have any success at all. I lost birds. It was crazy. Well, actually, something did happen. I spent all of my time and money. I kept losing my birds. I never placed in any races. I had to listen to my girlfriend constantly yell at me about how I was spending too much time with those stupid birds, as she called it. And I got completely frustrated. And I'm sure you have experienced one or all of these things as well. And unfortunately, my frustration soon got the best of me, and I quit the sport and hobby and pigeon racing altogether after my second year, because I just spent too much money, and it was crazy. I sold my birds, and my loft I left it back there and turned it into storage, and this is what it looked like after. It just deteriorated. But I didn't lose the love and passion I had for my birds and the sport altogether. I actually missed it. I missed the peace, I missed the tranquility, and I missed the excitement. I missed training my birds, and on a Sunday morning watching my birds fly. It was really a peaceful thing, and I missed all that. And with each day I spent away from the sport and hobby and birds that I love so much, my love and passion for it grew again. I just couldn't stay away for any longer. I was doing things all wrong, which maybe you are right now as well. And after looking back at it, I figured out that it really doesn't matter how fancy, elaborate, or expensive your loft is. There are champion fanciers dominating all around the world with very small, cheap, and not so impressive lofts all the time. I mean, I actually have some articles posted on the Pigeon Insider showing proof of this. In fact, I had the nicest, most expensive loft in my club, and I never even cracked the top of the race sheets. So obviously, all that glamour doesn't mean anything. And just getting good birds with great pedigrees and champion bloodlines aren't a guarantee to win either. I spent over $2,500 on birds with amazing pedigrees, and I never even won a single race. So it's not all about that stuff. It's not about having the perfect loft. What it is about, it's about building the perfect home where your birds feel safe and they feel happy. So it doesn't matter how big or elaborate it is. As long as your birds feel like they're home, that's all that matters. And again, it's not about buying the perfect birds either. It's about building the love of the loft in them. So if your birds love where they live and they love their home, they're going to fly back to it as fast as possible. But most importantly, it's about an exact, proven system that the champion pigeon fanciers use that allows them to churn out winning pigeon after winning pigeon and dominate almost every race they enter whenever they please. And I was determined to figure it out. But how was I supposed to do that? I already tried asking the experienced fanciers, and they blew me off. I also tried figuring it out myself, and we know how that turned out. I even tried scouring books and the internet for answers, and there was literally nothing I could find. I just couldn't find any answers anywhere. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I knew that if I was having trouble finding answers in the sport, then others were too. So with my computer and internet background, I actually set out to create an online community where pigeon fanciers of all experience levels could collaborate and share. And this is where the Pigeon Insider was born, and this is, the motto we follow still today. And I'm proud to say that the Pigeon Insider has been serving the pigeon community for over 3 years now, and its impact to sport is undeniable. The Pigeon Insider has helped countless fanciers ranging from newbies to experienced fanciers get the most out of the sport and their birds. It has allowed fanciers to communicate with one another from all across the world and share their ideas and experience with one another. It has also brought in hundreds of new fanciers into the sport who, just like me previously, didn't know anything, didn't even know pigeon racing existed. And I get emails all the time about this stuff. And currently the Pigeon Insider has helped over 14,000 fanciers and growing from all over the world and brought them together to one place. But actually, of those 14,000 fanciers, one fancier got my attention the most. So here's a story, actually. This is a good story. You're going to want to pay attention to this. One day I received a call from a champion fancier who told me that he loved what I was doing with the Pigeon Insider and what it was doing for the sport and wanted to help. So now I was floored by this because I'm always looking for experienced people to help others. He actually asked that his identity not be revealed, so from this point on we're going to reveal to him as Bob. After being in the sport for over 50 years, Bob told me that sadly he was being forced out of the sport that he loved because of an illness, and that he too agreed that there was not enough being done to help the sport and the fanciers who participated in it. He kind of felt that over the years, he felt that when he first started, it was a thriving sport, and now it's kind of dying. And I it depends on where you are, throughout the world, but especially here in the States, it is a dying sport. And now he wanted to help me change that. So I asked him how he planned on doing that and how I could help him. And he told me that he has seen and learned a lot over his decades in the sport, and he has accomplished just about everything a fancier could ever want to. Bob has won a number of prestigious awards in many major races. He has also consistently dominated his club and combine race almost every year. And he has also bred champion birds that he sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. And some of those offspring are still continuing to dominate today. So Bob knows his stuff. He went through the school of hard knocks, and he developed a system that's time and race tested and proven. And now he wanted to give back to the sport and hobby that has given him so much over the years. And like I said, the sport to me, it gave me peace and tranquility. It was a hobby that I actually loved, and Bob is just living proof of that as well, as I'm sure you are as well. I'm sure, you didn't get involved in the sport just to win races. You got involved because it's a hobby and a pastime that you love. And I told Bob that sounded great, and I would love to help him. And he told me that he wanted to share everything he had learned over his 50 years in the sport and give away his champion winning strategies and racing system. Now, this the same strategies and system that he has been using for decades that allowed him to dominate the sport. Now, I was floored by this because I couldn't believe that, my past experience with champions were that they didn't want to give away anything. And Bob over here, he wanted to give away his entire system and strategies. And the reason why he wanted to do that, and like I said, why do you want to do that? He said because he liked the Pigeon Insider so much and what it was doing for the sport. He said he only wanted to give his system to me and a select group of Pigeon Insider members only. So nobody else is getting this stuff. I told him that was fantastic because I knew you would love this. Being a member of the Pigeon Insider, this was an amazing opportunity for you. And I told him, however, I value my members too much to recommend something to them without first testing it myself. And he also agreed that would be a great idea. So I actually convinced my uncle to give the sport another chance because I had something great that I wanted him to help me out with. So I actually wanted to test it out. And reluctantly he agreed because he remembered how much money we wasted. And so my uncle and myself, we teamed up once again to test the system out. But this time without all the fancy bells and whistles. We didn't buy like crazy expensive birds, and we just got into it with what our wallets could handle. And the results were simply amazing. We actually finished second and fifth out of 166 birds. Another race, first, third, and ninth out of 181 birds. And first and second out of 235 birds. Now, it's crazy because we went from never winning a single race and never even cracking the race sheets at all to not only winning but also becoming a leading loft in our club and combine. And it's all because of we used the information and we followed Bob's system. So without further ado, remember I told you that there was going to be a surprise for you. And because you're watching this special video right now, means that you are one of the few fanciers who have been chosen to try this system out for yourself and begin putting it to work in your own loft and start dominating your club and combine, just like we have. So I want to introduce to you Bob's Pigeon Racing Blueprint. This is literally the exact blueprint we followed to get the results I just showed you, and it's also Bob's blueprint that he has perfected over 50 years in this sport. Now think about it. How much better would your results be if you knew exactly how to breed champion pigeons that won? You could easily spot a winning pigeon from miles away, and you could get your birds to trap instantly on your command and shave valuable seconds and minutes off their time. Or what if you knew exactly the exact feeding and nutrition techniques and strategies that got your birds flying at lightning speed? Or what if you had a champion mentor who could simply show you what to do and when to do it? Or what if you could get results just like we did? Second and fifth out of 166 birds, first, third, and ninth out of 181 birds, first and second out of 235 birds. How would it be if you got results like that? And this is literally just some of what is inside this blueprint. And I'm telling you from experience, I've looked at it and tested it myself. Now Bob will digitally guide. This is a digital product. He will guide you through all of his race-winning techniques and strategies that he has learned and perfected over his decades-long career in the sport. And it's all put into an easy-to-follow step-by-step plan that you can put right to work in your own loft right now. This is literally the closest thing to having a real champion take you by the hand and give you his exact winning pigeon racing system and personally mentor you through the entire process. And this is what we have been trying to do with the Pigeon Insider since the beginning. We've tried to get people to go from struggling to successful. Because the more successful people are, the longer they're going to stay in the sport, and the more they're going to pull in other people to join as well. So it's a growth thing. And you literally get to look over his shoulder and see exactly what the champions do in their own lofts. Now, Bob will guide you through each of his 4 modules needed to becoming successful and a winning fancier. In Module 1 of the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, this module was created to teach you. It's actually the racing module. This module was created to teach you every aspect of racing and take you from point A to point Z through the entire process. From loft management and motivation to racing systems and conditioning, everything needed to be successful in racing is covered in Module 1. In this module, you're going to learn race day preparation and why it's so important. You're going to learn proper trapping and clocking techniques. The lesson learned here can literally be the difference between winning and losing. You're going to learn race team management, how to properly manage a winning race team. You're the coach, and your team is only as good as you, which is the leadership, and much more. In Module 2 is Bob's training module. Here you're going to learn Bob's entire confidence training method, which gives you an exact blueprint to follow leading up to race day. If you ever wondered about road training, tossing, race variables, and record keeping, then this module will definitely shed some light on you. In this module, you're going to learn training and conditioning strategies that will help you to get your bird strong and ready for race day. You're going to learn tossing and efficiency training. You're going to learn how and when to properly begin tossing and training your birds. You're going to learn race variables and motivation. You will learn how to build the love of the loft into your birds, which I told you in the beginning of this video was so important. And you're going to learn how to motivate them to fly home at lightning speed, as well as how to properly adjust for race day variables such as weather and wind, and much more. Now, Module 3 is Bob's breeding blueprint. In this module, you're going to learn Bob's entire blueprint for breeding winning birds. All aspects of breeding are covered here, including selection process, pairing, evaluating breeders, the breeding systems and strategies he uses. And this information is absolutely vital if you intend on racing pigeons for any length of time. In this module, you're going to learn the art of selecting and pairing. Bob shows you how to properly select and pair your breeders so you get the best chance of breeding future champions. You're going to learn things to consider and look for when evaluating your breeders. Just looking at the pedigree isn't enough. You're going to learn genes and genetics. You'll learn how to use genetics to isolate the good qualities in your birds and breed out the bad, because that's basically what we're trying to do in our breeding process, and much more. And finally, in Module 4 is Bob's health blueprint. This is actually Bob's exact health blueprint that helps him ensure that all of his birds remain in top form. And any successful fancier knows that health is probably the most important thing to becoming a successful pigeon fancier. An unhealthy bird will never be successful, and the same goes for fanciers who don't put health a top priority in their loft. So this is probably one of the most important modules here. And in this module, you're going to learn how to classify injuries and what actions you should take to get your birds back into peak physical condition. You're going to learn Bob's personal health regimen, what he personally uses in his own loft with his own champion birds. You're going to learn how to help your birds through the molt. You will learn why the molt is so important to your pigeons and how it can affect the next racing season and what you can do to help your birds. You're also going to learn biosecurity and how to protect and guard your birds from biological threats, and much more in this module as well. The Pigeon Racing Blueprint is literally everything you need to turn you into the champion you want to be. Now, I'm living proof of that. I just showed you how I went from struggling to successful in the sport, and it's all because of these 4 modules. Now, I do have to say that Just reading these things isn't going to make you successful. What you have to do is that you have to actually take action. So these 4 modules are actually a champion fancier's look at over 50 years of proven race winning strategies. The only thing is that you actually have to put them into action, into your own loft. Now the champions have literally been keeping secrets from you for years. And why do you ask? They hide them because they don't want you to win. They're afraid. I mean, that's pretty much it. They don't want you knowing their secrets, because if you did, you'd beat them. So this is great, because it's time that you actually got your hands on the winning strategies and level the playing field. And lucky enough for us, and this, like I said, this is only for members of the Pigeon Insider. Bob is sharing with you everything the champions don't want you to know, literally. Now the Pigeon Racing Blueprint is designed to help you get the very best from your racing pigeons in each and every race. It will show you the ins and outs of pigeon racing from a champion fancier's point of view, so you can understand all facets of the sport through the eyes of a winning fancier. So you're not alone anymore. Now you can have the same race-winning techniques and strategies the champions are using every season to dominate the sport, literally in your hands. This is the same stuff those winners are doing every season. And the best part is you're skipping out all the years and years of trial and error it took them to develop. Now I wanted to make this... There's actually one more thing, because I wanted to make this even more powerful. And I wanted to do something really special for my readers, and officially make this the most complete race-winning pigeon racing system ever, literally. So I asked Bob one simple question. What is the one thing that all champion flyers have in common? And he told me this. He said they all keep great records. If you look at all the champions throughout history and today, that is the one thing they all have in common. They all keep great records. So as a Pigeon Insider bonus, I wanted to add a bonus to this. Again, just for you as a member of the Pigeon Insider. With Bob's Pigeon Racing Blueprint, I'm also going to give you loft management templates that you could print out and use to literally track every single thing in your loft. You're going to get the pedigree template for your breeding, so you can keep track of all of your birds' pedigrees. Simply print them out and fill it out. You're going to get the breeding template, which you could use to track your breeding process. You're going to get the nest card template, which you could print out and actually attach to each nest card, so you could keep track of which birds are in each nest box. You're going to get our race record template. This will keep track of all of your race records, so you can keep track of which birds are doing good and which ones aren't. And you can keep track of all the trends. You're going to get the training session template, which will keep track of all of your training sessions. So you can literally look back at these records and see which of your birds are performing the best. And those are the birds you want to send off to the races. You're going to get the wall chart template, which is going to keep track of all the birds in all of your loft. You could pin it right to inside your loft, so you could keep track of all your birds. You're going to get the young bird record template, which will keep track of all your young birds. And you're going to get your race team roster template, which you could actually use to build your race team. So after you went through and you trained all your birds and you picked out the very best of your stock, this is the roster that you're going to use to actually build your race team. And you're going to get all of these loft management templates along with the 4 modules of the Pigeon Racing Blueprint. And now you literally have everything you need to start winning races and become a champion pigeon fancier. And I'm not lying here. You're going to get the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, which consists of all 4 modules. The racing module, the training module, the breeding module, and the health module. And you're also going to get the loft management templates. And these things together equal success and my uncle and myself are living proof of this. So, how much is all of this winning information and support worth to you? To me, it was literally priceless. As I just showed you, my very first year in the sport, I basically flushed $5,300 down the toilet. Not to mention all the hours and time I wasted just spinning my wheels, and you just seen examples of that. And just to do it all over again the very next year, I spent a ton of money and a ton of time the next year. And years later, my first year back in the sport, after following the techniques shown in the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, my uncle and I were able to get results like I showed you here: 2nd and 5th, 1st, 3rd, and 9th, and 1st and 2nd out of 235 birds. And Bob has also spent thousands and thousands of dollars and decades of his life perfecting the system. So to Bob, it was priceless as well. So literally asking $1,000 or more for the system and bonuses would be totally worth it, because just look at the investment. You spend $1,000 and you start winning races. But obviously, Bob's not asking for $1,000. Bob knew that $1,000 or more would be way out of reach for most fanciers, because just the sport alone, as you know, is expensive enough. So he wanted to make it affordable for all fanciers, but he didn't want to just give it away, because that would actually, just giving it away, the reason why he's asking for money is because just giving it away would actually devalue it, because the more people who have the system, the less effective it will be. So he wanted to make it affordable for all fanciers, but didn't want he didn't want me to just give it away to just anybody. So he asked that I only allow it into the hands of just a few serious fanciers who are only Pigeon Insider members. And being that you are watching this video now, and means that you are a valued subscriber and member of the Pigeon Insider, and I do thank you for that. So this is only available to you. So again, how much is all of this worth to you? The Pigeon Racing Blueprint, which is over 50 years of proven race winning techniques and strategy that Bob has perfected over those years, plus the 8 loft management templates that is going to allow you to keep track of every single piece of your efforts, from training to breeding. You are going to know everything, how your birds are doing. So when you ship your birds off to a race, you are only sending the best of the best. And you're going to get all that for $47. That's your only expense. You're going to get the Bob's Pigeon Racing Blueprint plus all 8 of the loft management templates for $47. Now the Pigeon Racing Blueprint is literally your one-stop resource for creating a winning team. So you read through this, implement it into your loft and your own loft management strategies, and you will be successful. And now again, I can't guarantee your success, because I don't know you and I don't know what you're going to put into this, because there's still that element. Like, I could give you a race winning strategy and the loft management templates that are proven to guarantee results, but being that I don't know what you're going to put into this, like, you could not follow what is involved in the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, and if you don't follow it, you're not going to be successful. So obviously I can't guarantee, because I don't know each and every person who is going to put the Pigeon Racing Blueprint to work. But what I can say is that the Pigeon Racing Blueprint and the loft management templates together are was a proven system to go from not doing anything in the sport to being successful. And it will for you too if you implement this stuff. And the techniques outlined in the system are designed to help you create a winning team from the ground up. These techniques, which have been held from you for so long, are the exact techniques the champions use each and every season. And myself and countless others use these tools to create a system of excellence within our teams, enabling us to shave precious seconds off our racing times and have our birds performing at peak physical performance every time. Now, with the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, you will literally have the advantage over your competitors. And it's because of my experience with these techniques that I'm giving you this risk-free guarantee. Now, if for any reason you're unhappy with the Pigeon Racing Blueprint, return it for a full refund within 60 days, no question asked. And it's because I value my subscribers so much. So, I'm giving you this offer. And again, only you are getting it because you're a Pigeon Insider member. However, I don't want you to be unhappy. So if you don't enjoy the Pigeon Racing Blueprint and everything that it has in it, and the loft management templates, ask me for a refund and I'll give it to you back with no questions asked, because our relationship is more important than you being unhappy. And I assure you that you will not be unhappy, because this system, from my own experience, is everything you need to succeed. Like I said, if you're not happy, I'm not happy. So, and that's all I want to do, is just make my subscribers happy. But again, you won't be unhappy. You'll soon see that these champion winning strategies for yourself, and see real results in no time at all because of them. Now, I truly believe in that. Don't waste another second on a losing pigeon. Learn how to train, motivate, and race your pigeons to excellence. Really, stop wasting your time and money on pigeons that aren't winning, and learn how to build and train a real winning race team. You're just gonna enjoy the sport so much more because of it. So actually, here's the deal. Like I said before, Bob told me that he only wanted his system to get into the hands of only a few serious fanciers. And he also wanted to make sure that this system stayed exclusive and only got into the hands of just a select few, because he wanted it to remain successful. So, if everybody got their hands on the system, it would lose its effectiveness, and he didn't want that. So, like, if you picked the system up, he wanted you to be successful with it, and not the sport to be saturated with these things, because then it would lose its effectiveness. So because of Bob's wishes, I literally have to limit the amount of fanciers who can get in, and will only be allowing just a few fanciers to take advantage of this offer. Now, I'm serious about this. Once that small amount of fanciers have been reached, I'm going to take this offer down to respect Bob's wishes, and to keep this system that powerful. And we also wanted to be fair, because I said that I value my subscribers, and we wanted to be fair and give everyone a fair chance to take advantage of Bob's system. So this video has been sent out to over 14,000 fanciers. The good news is that if you're watching this video, like I said, this video has been sent out to 14,000 fanciers. However, 14,000 fanciers will not be able to get this Bob system, because we are limiting it. The good news is that if you're watching, if there is a Get Instant Access button below, then you still have a chance. If it isn't there, I'm very sorry that we filled up, and I had to remove the Instant Access button. But below this video, if you see the Get Instant Access button, you still have a chance to get Bob's Pigeon Racing Blueprint. So like I said, if it's still there, if the button's still there, go ahead and click the Get Instant Access button below this video right now to take advantage of Bob's Pigeon Racing Blueprint system, as well as our 8 loft management templates. You're going to get them all together before it's too late. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Again, please don't wait, because this is time sensitive, and only a few people are going to get access to this. And once it's gone, it's going to be gone. So again, I want to leave you by saying I hope you'd enjoy my story. I hope it gave you some excitement to know that this sport is a wonderful sport and that you can be successful in it. Um, I hope it made you excited, and I really I value your continued support for the Pigeon Insider, and I thank you so much. Um, and these are just the things that we are have been blessed to be able to bring you as a subscriber to the Pigeon Insider. That you know people who aren't part of the Pigeon Insider family, they don't get to be part of these kind of things. So I really hope you take advantage of it before it fills up. And again, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Take care now.